Transfers complete. Those codes will allow you to temporarily restore power to most facilities in the city. Systems should shut.
All set on your gear? Then let's get this. Kaiser? Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. A Sealy's. Not far. Old shipping yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of the containers.
Shit. These things, they're all dominated. Clean them out and keep an eye out for the more controlling them.
All combat systems engaged.
Looks like the last of them. No sign of the Morse, though.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
Yes, they're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
That last click is so satisfying, isn't it?
these samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. Now, earlier scan picked up a valid terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
We've got our answer.
Access locked. We may proceed.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Real marvel. Leeches. What's keeping you things warm? What's that? My God, look at it. A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only... What's happening? Captain, have you seen this? heat leeches are terramorphs.
What? No. It can't be true. Heat leeches are everywhere. They live everywhere. That means terramorphs. Oh my god.
You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, we just found out how terramorphs... Pretty major is right. But if what we just saw... The Lazarus plant. It's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, does this... Could someone have set that up? But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
Engaging. Deploying lethal countermeasures. Concentrating fire.
First of all, Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here? Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant in act.
A bioweapon no one would recognize as one. Oh, that's a...
Sort of thing that'll keep you up at night. And the sort of thing whoever did that makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, and the timing of that one. It couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks, I think someone They certainly were. But having this answer, well, who could pull something like this off?
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise...
Roger that. Kaiser?
The entrance is...
ideas where we could get some extra juice?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office. Upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
There's the control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive. Captain, I think I see it. don't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
Admiral!
It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility.
Other than our casualties, yes, sir.
Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. I'll send ships as soon as possible.
Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
That won't be your fate, Colonel. You have my word.
Transcription complete. Physical copy available.
An invisible weapon. He knew about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk. Hey, Victus. You destroyed this place. Killed these people to... You heard that recording. He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they...
Oh, you make it sound like a miscalculation, when in reality it was an unmitigated disaster. And look where we are.
A calculated loss. These soldiers for the rest of the galaxy. That sounds exact. But it doesn't. It can't. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was... Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly... Right. Kaiser! Try it now!
Successful.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled. should grab that sample while we can. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser and we're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here. Percival, you should unplug and find somewhere we can talk. Privately.
On it. See you soon. Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there. But it sounded like this was a success. Got everything we need to put this plan... Ah, best place for them. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that they evicted?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the Great Beyond. That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime, New Atlantis.
Thank you, Captain. Once you've finished your investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
Best of luck on your fact-finding mission. Good day, Captain.
I have things for you.
have something for you when you have a moment.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Authorized personnel off. Trent has to stay here.
Well, when I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, did you find what you were looking for? Good news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty. Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope, after all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a Perhaps I can convince... You want to hear the words, then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Taos. Years of coordination between my associate and I. Figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian. Learning. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure... The attacks. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information, so I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport. Fixing two problems at once, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's... Simple to say now, but with the outbreak raging from a barely understood source, the moment demanded quick action. So I removed the dangerous variable from an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, and what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my... No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser. The reason... And cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always... What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by... Captain, please. You've benefited here as much as I have. It's why I had Orlays plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths, and look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere with only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the wealth. I'm simply looking for you. And let's not forget the importance of our eliminating the terramorphs, securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion, I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. I've already sent along the evidence of Orleza's role in the attacks to the Cabinet. Leaving out, all I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be. Hunting down criminals. And I expect they'll give me a bit more. You would help me, like you did. Impossible, though, if the Cabinet learned. Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain.
Authorized personnel only. Your friend has to stay
If
here.
you want help, I'm here. It was really good talking to you. I picked up something you might be interested in.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the Asylees are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the Cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for a while.
I'm sure the Captain just misspoke, right? No, that's impossible. Huts.
Certainly putting it mildly.
Alive. Wait. You knew he... You were sworn to... You... Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you... Now at least we can inform the Cabinet and let them deal. Exactly. But now I guess we've got our answer. Any last things we needed to This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the Cabinet weighs in on a decision.
Microbe is gonna make the cleanup a whole lot quicker. If we're concerned about this Lazarus plant getting deployed again, that's the way to go.
The Cabinet can secure the Lazarus plant, and then we're not risking any surprises when it comes to dealing with a microbe.
You're being paranoid. You know the science. You know we can make this safe.
I do know the science. I also know math, and a 1 in a million chance of a mutation. So I guess we're still in discussion. And here we go.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting. But according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph... Is what I'm reading here true?
My God.
An attack? Using Terramorphs? How?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're... So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlays commit these attacks?
Orlays? Well, ma'am, it seems your report is incorrect. Francois Sanon was responsible for the attacks.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was gonna end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now that's quite the accusation your group is leveling. Seeing as Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
It just transformed. A Terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vevictus. I'm not sure I see why someone with UC blood on their hands would merit leniency. But I will note you. Now, with our villain unmasked, with the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the 3 of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the Cabinet. As such, the Cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified.
A sound decision, Madam President.
I'm glad you think so. So then, the Cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step...
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps? The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the Cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the Captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
Here's hoping they'll be kept on a short leash.
That, madam, is most certainly the plan.
Order, please. And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day 1 for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you 3 the founding members of the TMD. As befits such a group, the Cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sinan, Dr. Walker, I hope you 2 are willing to continue your effort.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duty. Speak to your commander. Tuala. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward, plus help you collect the benefits that come with being named. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
Hey.
When the galaxy learns the truth about heat leeches, they're gonna be begging for our help.
Check in with your commanding officer. Sir.
Informed us of your new status. Congratulations on making the last one.
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain. It's a high honor. Have to do something big for the colonies to earn that sort of designation. Only ever met a couple myself, and certainly never given one orders. You should be real proud. No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your account now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office. They should be able to grant you access. Just out the front door and across the plaza, by the embassies. Look for the Aphelion sign. Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate. But, with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats. Any of those missions call to you? Any chance to bag some bugs, right? Well, I can provide. Okay. These coordinates should get you to your first target. There. He's mission person.
Teachers of this science.
It's a buyer's market right now. Good time to make a move. Well, well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location. What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered at... Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous... Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
definitely better than the last.
I have something for you when you have a moment.
I have things for you.
You will be scanned as you enter the city.
I picked up something you might be interested in. I have something for you when you have a moment.
Greetings, Captain.
Stay alert. Weapons at the ready.
Remain calm. There's no reason to suspect you're human. It's just that we weren't.
Imagine being cut off from humankind for that long.
Perhaps we should greet our...
Of course. Manners. I'm Captain Diana. This is Security Officer Beaumont. And this is Dr. Mabuti da Costa, one of our elders.
A pleasure to meet you.
I don't know all the particulars, but I'll try to answer as best I can. It was built long ago by our ancestors to sustain our crew over hundreds of years in space through generations of travelers. It's sturdy, fast, and spacious. That last one is important because we had to take as many supplies as possible with us on the journey and still have ample space for our crew. I see. As you may have presumed, we're in a bit... Our ship has finally completed its near 200-year journey from Earth, only to find our new home seemingly colonized by... Communications haven't been successful, so your arrival is fortuitous. Perhaps you'd be willing to act as a middle person between ourselves. Oh yes, of course. Now then, please follow me. There's much to discuss first. Dr. da Costa, you may return to your quarters if you wish.
Thank you, Captain. I will follow you to the bridge, ma'am. For security purposes.
I do not believe we have need to fear our guest, but I'll allow it if you insist.
Never seen a ship like yours before. Then again, I haven't seen any
Welcome to the Earth colony ship Constant. In the early 2100s, my ancestor, Rupert Brackenridge, researched a number of scientific scenarios: climate change, asteroid impact, nuclear war, global pandemic, and more. Each scenario showed the likelihood of an extinction-level event to be within 50 years. He fully believed Earth was destined to be rendered uninhabitable. We've always assumed that's what happened.
Now that we know what's out
he gathered
there,
the best and brightest he could find, built the Constant, and set a course for this planet here. We were told that it was the largest, most advanced ship ever constructed on Earth at the time. If you can believe, entire generations have been born, lived, and died on this ship. It really goes to show that there are no limits to human ingenuity and perseverance.
Careful waving that fancy gun around. We don't need to see it.
The Constant is a peaceful ship. Don't change that.
So, here we are.
When you have the time, of course. If you need something.
We didn't believe anyone would be out here. But well, as I mentioned, we've been unsuccessful in communications with anyone up until you arrived. But since you're asking, maybe you'd be willing to be a sort of... We know there's a settlement on the planet below, meaning people were... You see, we intended to settle here, but we assumed that they intend to defend their claim given their presence. We'd like you to go speak to them on our behalf and help us... Excellent. Make no mistake, this is our planet, and we intend for them to see this. So, speak with their leadership and see if you can negotiate a solution on our behalf. Preferably, report back to me and let me know what they say. Thank you.
We were never trained to address threats coming from outside our ship.
Sorry to pull you aside like this, but taking those steps to eradicate the Terramorph threat is essential to the safe. Yes, exactly. I'm glad you treated... I only wish that the United Colonies chose to exterminate the Terramorphs with the experimental microbe. Apparently, their decision was based on your recommendation. Minimal risk. The Asili solution might take years, perhaps even decades. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking for... Well, I'm disappointed that you didn't trust. Unfortunately, locking away the Lazarus plant instead of eliminating it, anything that accelerates the Terramorph life cycle, should have been completely removed from the equation. Of course, I appreciate the fact that you've taken the time to listen to my...
Just stay out of trouble.
When you're ready to launch.
you some kind of an acrobat?